Hey everybody, this is Minion Soldier, and this is the Piracy Show. Now, this week on the Piracy Show, we're not actually going to be talking about ships or anything like that, but we're going to be talking about, well, in a weird way, we're going to be kind of touching on Star Marine, the Star Marine situation, and then we're going to kind of talk about, the more important things to do with the Star Marine situation and why maybe the things that people are focused on right now probably aren't the worthwhile topics that we should be focused on. Now, a lot of people are kind of hung up on the fact that, still no Star Marine. You know, Gold Horizon, the little level, and we don't get to queue up for these battles to, run around and shoot each other up. Which is, you know, some, I mean, we were promised something of a first person shooter that that we could queue up for, that we can actually play with. But in in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. That it's not really here yet. And some people I mean, I joked about it last week when I said, well, you guys remember when we were promised Star Marine a year ago and still no Star Marine. I mean, obviously it is a somewhat humorous situation that that seems to repeat itself, but I think that there's actually something that can be done with Star Marine that is possibly worth exploring, and it actually kind of keys into a larger Star Citizen problem that a few of you may also be thinking of, or something that may be hovering in the back of your head, and you're hoping that this is going to be a situation that solves itself before you're afraid that you might have to solve it. And that's the problem of NPC crews and NPC boarding parties. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I were to be boarding a ship, NPC or otherwise, if I was going to be, kind of storming onto, say, like a Vanduul ship, and I was about to steal all its cargo and book, I would want human players to storm that ship for me. Like if I'm in a Cutlass or maybe a Prowler, I would want human players to do that work for me. I would not want NPCs, because NPCs are what's the politically correct word right now? NPCs are mentally unencumbered. I think is that's politically correct, right? Mentally unencumbered. And so I would rather have sophisticated human beings who can think on their feet, and not a bunch of bots that kind of keep banging their head into the wall. And so the problem is in Star Citizen is, how do you attract players like that? So here's what I think we can do. Now, we've already got Area 18, right? We've already basically got, Stanton. We're going to have Nyx very soon, and we're going to have this Gold Horizons FPS level. So what I think might be a good idea for Star Citizen, since we're already separating the Star Citizen game packages on February 14th, and then, what is it? It's going to be $45 a piece if you want Squadron 42, and $45 if you want to buy Star Citizen, or something along those lines. We should also offer, well, I say we, not like I work at CIG, but I think maybe a good idea is to also consider offering a game package that is basically FPS only. And what it is you would be a character in the Star Citizen universe, but a character without a pilot's license. So you can't actually fly a ship. If you want to go anywhere in space, you would be basically forced to use either players to fly you, players who had licenses to fly you from one point in the universe to the other, thereby necessitating or helping reinforce the role of people who bought Genesis Starliners purely for, human traffic, to move people here and there, and maybe, and hopefully not just to move NPCs, but to move actual human beings. You would be relying on that to kind of get around the universe, which has also, been revealed as the public transportation system that players can use to kind of get around the universe. You would be relying on that. But basically what you would be is an enforcer within the Star Citizen universe. So let's say you buy this discounted game package for Star Citizen. It's FPS only. You give them, a custom suit of armor, a special pistol, and a special submachine gun, and maybe like a semi-automatic shotgun. You say, okay, you buy this game package, these are the things you get, and then you can start on this system or that system. You can start on Stanton, or you can start on Nyx. Now if you start on Nyx, you're going to be joining one of the criminal gangs, or you can join one of the player orgs. Once you can kind of more or less define the orgs, once we have proper org management tools in place. And what those players can do is they can queue up for FPS battles, on the Gold Horizons level, or they can go down into the sub levels of either Area 18 or Nyx, and they can do missions down there in the same way that we're starting to do missions here, at Port Olisar and in the Baby PU. And so what these guys would be doing is they'd be doing, kind of like go down into the area, rescue missions, take out the drug dealer missions, take out the rival drug dealer missions, things of that nature, bounty missions, shit like that. And they would kind of be exploring kind of the on your foot and in your face portion of the Star Citizen universe. But what it would also allow players to do, especially ship captains like us, is we can open up a queue for our ship, and we can say, let's say I'm flying a Cutlass. I'm flying a Cutlass, and I'm planning to board a Vanduul ship, and I'm going to need some people to board that Vanduul ship for me. But for right now, I don't need them. I'm just flying from point A to point B, and I don't want someone sitting there getting bored and going, wow, this is just the worst game ever. I want someone who's going to be ready when I need them, so I just open up a queue. I could say, here's a job. Storm a Vanduul ship. It's probably gonna go down sometime in the next 20 minutes. Maybe go down in the next hour. This is what the job pays, and you'll get a queue message within that hour, and if you accept it, you'll be transported to my ship. You'll just kind of like wake up inside of my ship, then you'll do the thing. Once you complete the mission, then you get paid, and you immediately get teleported back to wherever you were, so you can go on with your day-to-day life. And so that would allow us to kind of crew our vessels on demand without having to constantly lug people around the Star Citizen universe who probably, just kind of want to play the FPS and just have fun blowing stuff up, and aren't, necessarily wanting to crew someone else's ship 24/7. You know what I mean? And I think one of the attractions for FPS players will be, for people who play Call of Duty or Battlefield or things like that, one of the drawbacks of those games is the fact that your character really has no persistence. Your character really has no story. They just get dropped into these random battlefields over and over and over again, but they don't get to really kind of explore the world of Battlefield. You know what I mean? Whereas with this kind of system, they would have persistence. They would have their own apartment on Nyx or Crusader or Terra or wherever, and they could work as an enforcer, a bodyguard, a bounty hunter, whatever, and they could just kind of do all these things. But they don't have to worry about if they don't want to own a ship, they don't have to. If they don't want to have to learn how to fly a ship, they don't have to. They can just go around and just do the FPS thing and live a full and complete life in the Star Citizen universe, FPSing only. And it would have that persistence to give them the sense that they're actually playing a character and not just playing an avatar over and over and over again like they are in most FPSs right now. And by using a queue system, it would allow these people to kind of get in and help out the pilots when they want to, but they wouldn't have to worry about being, okay, well, now I got to go sit on this guy's, cutlass for, an hour waiting to kind of get to our destination. And then who knows if he's actually going to be able to pull it off. Whereas with a queue system, you can wait till that cutlass is more or less snapped onto the enemy ship, and you've secured the docking ring, and then you can just say open up the queue, and whoever said, oh, I'll queue up for that mission, whoever are the 3 people or 4 people who accept first, they appear on your ship, and they go up, they storm the ship, and they come back down, they dump all the cargo in your ship, you pay them off, and then boom, they're back on their way. It teleports them back to where they came from. It would be a little bit immersion breaking, but you know what? It would get the job done for both parties, and it would allow us to kind of avoid this situation where everyone's going, well, I want to buy this ship, but how many game packages am I going to have to buy on top of this to get an NPC crew? Because the problem with Star Citizen, I think, this kind of background problem with Star Citizen is the fact that where are we going to get our crews from? Because everyone is here buying ships because they want to fly their own ships and not because they want to fly your ships, right? I think that this would be kind of a solution that works out for everyone, and it could use the existing framework of Nyx that is coming up. It would use the existing framework of Area 18 and the Gold Horizon level as a starter, but also Nyx that's coming up to allow for the people who want to play on the more criminal side of life, and we could just kind of go from there and basically kind of bring the FPS portion of the Star Citizen universe to life, crew up our ships, and we wouldn't have to worry about, well, frankly, situations like this, where I've just spent the last 13 minutes or so playing with myself. Anyways, something to think about. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and thanks for watching.
Quantum travel initiated.